Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. For this video we'll be going through a unboxing of the high grade 12144 Gundam Aesculapius pronunciation. And this particular Gundam mobile suit was from Mobile Suit Gundam Wing G unit, and this kit was released by Bandai this year being 2022. So I've had this come through to me in the mail in the last few weeks. So as my little previous run of videos related to Transformers has come to an end, I figured it was a good time to move back into the Gunpla space. So I'll just have this particular, the Aesculapius, as well as another G unit based mobile suit video and post before I move on to something else. Now, this particular kit is a P Bandai, despite the fact that the box doesn't look it. So this wasn't picked up through my usual HobbyLink Japan source, but I will, for those who are oddly intrigued, I will have a link to the original Gundam Aesculapius. I'm sure I'm going to start saying that weird in the next few minutes. Over at HobbyLink Japan. So it's not going to be won't be the latest version of the kit. But some of those older kits aren't too bad. So there's always at least one person out there who has a level of nostalgia. So feel free to have a look at that. So that'll be in the description. So moving on ahead with the actual look of the box. So here we have the front of the box. Now this suit, and I find a few of the G unit suits through it, has a bit of a, has the standard mobile suit mode, but it also has a bit of a mobile armor type mode as well. So it's basically a 2-in-1 of sorts. Well, it has a transforming gimmick of some description, so there you go. And oddly enough, I think it's still basically the base Geminus with extra armor. So that's the front of the box. It does look very good. In terms of the bottom of the box, here we have a shot of front and back of the Gundam. So it's in its high mobility mode, and then it can quote-unquote transform into its close combat mode. So that's pretty cool. And then we have some extra action and articulation poses, which is very cool. There appears to be some marking stickers included. Unusual, but appreciated. Some of the weapons included, as well as a bit of a gimmick describing that there will be 3 axes, I dare say, of articulation in the chest, hip and groin region to allow for dynamic posing. So that was the bottom of the box. In terms of the top of the box, just another, both front views of the high mobility and close combat modes. Part of the close combat mode does somewhat remind me of a Zaku, but the colors look really cool. And then there's a nice blurb of text about the Aesculapius. And it seems that yes, there was basically capture and a refurb of the Geminus 02, which probably explains why it looks like a Geminus. Side of the box, just your usual image from the front. With a nice little grey banding. Oddly enough, the next G unit suit, which I wish I noted down beforehand, I think it's the LO Booster, and it's revamped, is starting to appear for pre-orders. So yes, I have pre-ordered one. So it does mean that between the Aesculapius, the LO Booster, the 2 Gemini, there should be 1 more left, which may or may not be the next video. Foreshadowing. So now that we've had a look outside the box, to the inside of the box, now this is not a small box. So looking at that, it will have some plastic involved. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bags of runners and a instruction manual, which seems to be in a slightly different style. Potentially just unique to this one, could be unique to the G units. I guess in time we'll see. But yeah, there we go. So good amount of plastic included, which is cool. So I will crack open all these bags and we will have a better look at what is inside. And with everything now out of the bags, here we have the front of the manual. Definitely a slightly different layout. Be interesting to see if this will become a bit of a new norm, or if it's just unique to the G unit line. So we have a nice front shot of the high mobility mode, another front shot of close combat, some of the weapons, a bit more description of some of the other optional parts included, that small blurb, and just some information about the Gundam itself. I suspect, especially with some of this block down here, that it's probably unique to the G units. In terms of the back, so I guess that'll be pretty much just a continuation of the instructions, but we do have a breakdown of where some of these marking stickers will go if you elect to use them. And there is a color guide, which will be white, purple, some type of orange, grey and dark grey, and there will be a color for the sensors, as to be expected. In terms of the parts list, it's a very big parts list. I do recall some of the runners will be from the Geminis, which is cool, and then there will be parts related solely to the Aesculapius. A lot of X's, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with those. Who knows, maybe you can make a Geminis 03. In terms of the build, so the instructions will basically go through starting the build from a high mobility mode configuration. So typical body build, typical head. The arms are built as 2 basic sets before they become customized to left and right. Shoulders are built as 2 parts. I'm assuming the shoulders will probably be interchangeable, and then you become a right arm and a left arm later down the track. Feet you build as 2 parts, legs you pretty much build as 2 parts as well, and start wrapping some of the armor around once it becomes the right leg. And the left leg, build the waist, and happily put everything together. And then after that you pretty much go through the rest of the backpack build, which definitely not involved, but looks quite interesting. Build the weapons. Surprisingly enough, this looks like it would be a fairly armored beast, really. And there's the remaining rifle, and then you have the steps to transform it into its close combat mode. Interestingly enough, the Python claws seems to share a bit of a similar gimmick to that of the Ultron / Ntaku, just with some of this interesting bits on the arms. In terms of the rest, I'll just do this. So that's pretty much the rest of the instructions on how to switch over into the close combat mode. And yes, the backpack looks like it will just basically flip over once you detach the head. It's a high grade. What can one expect, really? Can't always tuck them away. So that was the instructions in terms of everything else. So sticker sheet number 1. In fact, let's see if I can hold it without covering everything. Not too bad. Some of it will be color correcting, I have no doubt. Some of them will be for lenses, cameras, eyes, things like that. But overall, a relatively small sticker sheet, which is very nice to see. Could have been a lot worse. And then we have the included marking stickers as well. I probably will not use them. But once again, it's nice that they're included. In terms of the runners, we do have a bit of plastic to get through. So we do have a A1 and A2. Now, A2 is a carbon copy of, I dare say, the top half of A1. So if I take that away, so they will both be multicolor runners. We'll have white, I dare say a dark blue, mustard yellow, I dare say. So that's the two A runners. We have two B runners in the one flat color, B1 and B2. B2 is a carbon copy of the bottom left hand quadrant of B1. Now these will both be in a dark grey, but I believe these are also the exact same runners that would have been used for the Geminis, especially given that that's the shield, there's the accelerate rifle and things like that. So that was the two Bs. In terms of the two Cs, C1 and C2. C2 is a carbon copy of the top half of C1. So these are in a bit of a... It's definitely some type of grey. I guess I call it a shadow grey, because it's definitely not white, it's definitely not grey, but it also has that weird little bluish tint to it. But they're both the same colour. Obviously for these runners you're probably looking at a lot of your external armour pieces. And as you can see from C1 we have definitely parts of the head, the waist, and we would have had bits of the leg armour and things like that. So that's C1 and C2. We have two D runners, D1 and D2. D2 is a carbon copy of just about 95% of D1, with D1 having just a few pieces of uniqueness. Both D runners are multicolor runners, so we'll have white, purple, that mustard color, and some grey. And that purple is very nice, and just looking at some of the work that they've done in these runners, it is very unfortunate that these kits are P-Bandai. Although I can imagine in some countries being America, it may possibly be loose retail. Maybe. Obviously can't comment on how distribution works in America. So that was the D runners. We have one E runner in purple. So most of these parts I'm sure will be for the backpack. We have two F runners, F1 and F2. F1 is in grey, whilst F1 is in white, F2 is in grey. Where does my brain go sometimes? So those are the two F runners. We have also two polycaps, PCs 001 and 002. So 001 is my favourite no polycap runner, and 002 is more of the standardized polycaps. There is also a included PVC wire. No Gundam kit from Wing Gundam is ever without it, and of course this is where my PTSD will kick off, because PVC wire, awkward experiences. And lastly, we also have SB13, and these will be the round tipped beam sabers. but this beam saber effect will be in orange. So there you go. So that brings us to an end of the unboxing of the Gundam Aesculapius. Whether I've been consistent with its name pronunciations remains to be seen. Definitely a lot of plastic in this particular kit, given it's pretty much a Geminus with a heap of armoured components. The colours look very nice. It's a nice play on the white, the purple and the mustard yellow. So definitely look forward to, at some point in time, putting this together. In fact, I would not be surprised if I basically have all of the revised G-Unit kits and still haven't built a single one. One of these days I should really try and at least build in Geminus, but we'll see how things go. It's on the play. Thank you very much for watching this video. Feel free to leave a like, a comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the video. All of this does help support the channel and I do greatly appreciate it. Extra content can also be found on my Instagram account, link in the description below. Stay safe and take care, and I will catch you all in the next video, which, if done chronologically, will be another G-Unit video. See ya.